Congrats on the first win, though it was expected.
I have so many hidden talents.
Oh yeah? Like what?
I don't know, they're all hidden.
So you finally showed up. Let's see what you...
Trust me!
Free models, just like this one, ready to be put into your game engine or in your Blender project, and also have the textures applied to them, so you can get really cool meshes. First, go to the website of sketchfab.com. I created an account here, so maybe you can too. I like to go to Explore and then select the topic that I want to get a mesh of, for example, the cars and vehicles. Then in the categories, I look for filters also, and I'm going to select Other must be credited, commercial use is allowed, because that's the most popular one. These other ones don't have many models, so I select this one. I think it's only fair to credit the one who made it, and it's still allowed in commercial use, so just credit the owner and then you're good to go. Then you can look through the models that you like. Some are paid, some are free. So click on the model that you like, for example this spaceship right here. You can have a look at it, drag it around to see if you like it. I think it's really cool. Then go down below. Sometimes there is download 3D model button. So when you click this one, you can go to the FBX file, this is the one that we need, and click download. Now I already have this on my computer, this example, so you have to unzip this one, and you get usually a source file and texture file. The source file is the FBX that we are going to need in Blender or in your game engine like Unreal Engine for example, and the textures we have to drag in to get the colors and the other maps, normal maps, roughness, etc. So in Blender, how do you import this? Very easily, you can't just drag it in because that would give an error. Very easy, go to File, Import, then FBX, because we download an FBX for this one. Look for your map and go to Source, and then you find FBX. First thing I like to do is delete the light and the bulb if you're going to use it in the game engine. Otherwise you can just leave it as it is. Then this one contains many different meshes, so I'm going to click this one, A to select all, and I hit Ctrl J to join them, because some models will have separate parts. For this model I like it to have one part, so right now I can just have it in one part. Then usually you want to add colors to this, or you can texture it yourself. In your shading tab there should be some things, depends on the model. For example, I can look here for the base color. Click on the map, because right now it's empty, you still have to connect it up, and it's namely here in the texture files. So for example, I want to add the base color here. You click the map right here, look for your file again, and this time hit textures, and in this example it's the base color. Open image, and right now you can see the colors really popping out and coming alive. So also when you go to modeling or layout, when you hit this icon right here, you can see the viewport shading, and this is your model right here. Very nice.
shader editor in the window you just created. Click N to hide that sidebar on the right because you don't need it. Switch to Material Preview so you can see materials. Open the folder and drag and drop all texture files. First texture that you need is Base Color Diffuse. Connect color from base color texture with base color from Principled BSDF. The next texture that you need is metal texture. Connect color from metal texture with metallic from Principled BSDF. Don't forget to change color space from sRGB to non-color. Don't forget to change color space from sRGB to non-color. The next texture that you need is Roughness texture. Connect color from Roughness texture with Roughness from Principled BSDF. Don't forget to change color space from sRGB to non-color. The next texture that you need is Normal texture. In this case, you already have Normal Map node, but if you need to edit, here is how you do that. Click left mouse button and drag from Normal Input socket to the left and search Normal Map. Connect color from the Normal Map texture with color from the Normal Map node. Don't forget to change color space from sRGB to non-color. That is it, you have your 3D model with textures. Thank you for learning with me. In the description you
Yo. Um. So that's all good. You know, to the upper button. Oh, lower web. Never mind. Hold on. Let me fix this, guys.
Well, folks, it's about that time. You guys want to my thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen Culling Game Part 2 trailer, so let's get into it. But one thing I gotta say is they know how to make a trailer, boys.
Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome to my video. In today's video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to import
Well, folks,
Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome to my video. In today's video, I'm gonna be teaching you find this. Here you go. Hold on. Spider-Man logo. There you go. You're gonna do the head now.
Hello guys, in 3D Model. Here, open your file, just drag and drop it into your scene, and that's it. And also, you can see the textures are exported with it too. And that's it, quick and easy. If this was helpful,
Sans 12. That was good. That's good, 6.7. So this is what I was trying to export from Sketchfab. I'm gonna try and rig it.
How did an independent artist who was fired from McDonald's for being late go from being the creative mind behind the most popular indie animated series? How did an
Black IK as the target and the pole target. So you want to rig something? Well, you've come to the right place. Rigging is a subject that can seem daunting and slow, but I would like to show you the essentials of creating a really useful, simple rig in Blender. Okay, first of all, we need something to rig. Luckily, I've been creating this T-Rex model in some of my other videos. Ooh, it's gonna be nice to finally rig this. When you're rigging creatures and organic things in general, usually good topology is essential. This T-Rex has pretty decent topology already. You can see how I created the topology for the T-Rex in my video on sculpting dinosaurs in Blender. All rigs in Blender starts with an armature. So we will open the add menu and add an armature. To the scene. Starts with an armature. So we will open the add menu and add an armature to the scene. When making rigs, I always like starting at the hips. That is usually where everything originates from, including movement. Then in edit mode we can start extruding bones out into a spine. I like to make one big bone for the chest because the ribcage makes everything a lot more rigid. So one bone is enough. More bones up along the neck, a head bone and a bone for the jaw. Make sure to place these bones where you want the rotation to be. Jaws follow the head so you can parent the jaw underneath the head bone. Then I will jump to the hip and extrude out tail bones so that they are parented underneath the hip itself. Also, rigging is all about naming, so start naming your bones early. It will make your life a lot easier. And use the Blender naming convention. Okay, now it's time.
And the fact that this is built into Blender, a lot of people don't know about it. And the fact that this is built into Blender, a lot of people... So with the new release of Blender 4.2, I've decided to do an updated version of the human meta rig in Blender. So if you want to take a character, but you don't know how to rig a character, Blender already comes with a built-in system that'll rig a character for you pretty much. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Essentially, we're just going to place these rough bones in place once we've enabled the built-in add-on, and then it's just going to generate these really awesome controllers that are super powerful. I'm going to show you how to parent all of that to your mesh character, and it's just a ton of fun, super powerful. And the fact that this is built into Blender, a lot of people don't know about it, but once you know about it, it's a game changer, especially if you want to rig characters quickly for animation. And yeah, this is just the basic version. Blender has an even more complex version, which we'll cover another time. But even this basic human meta rig is already a ton of fun. And like I said, you don't need to know anything about rigging. So if you want to follow along and learn how to use Blender's built-in human meta rig, let's go ahead and jump in. So we're inside of Blender 4.2, and obviously you can use your own character. I'm just going to be demonstrating with one of my characters that I have. It's just a simple base mesh. And first of all, we want to make sure that we have the add-on enabled. Now you don't have to download anything online, it already comes built into Blender. So you're going to simply go up to Edit, you're going to go down to your Preferences, and then under your add-ons, you're just going to come here to the top and type in Rig. And you're going to see an option called Rigify. Mine is already ticked because I have it enabled, so if yours isn't, just go ahead and click on it. You can come down here and just save Preferences, and then close this window. So now, what we're going to do, if you go
What's good, Makey? We're adding these bones to this character, this is what it looks like fully rendered. I got it from this website right here. I can't pronounce this creator's name because it's literally in Japanese, but this is their setup. It's called Just a Girl. It's really cool because they got like the two-tone hair going on. I like it. This is the description and Creative Commons licensing. Did you make it? Oh, she's pretty. No, I didn't make this. I'm just gonna rig and animate it and see if I can add it to like a future animation. I want to make like an animation with like a couple inside of an apartment complex. They have like an argument and then they immediately like defuse from the argument by going out to the club and like dancing and shit like that. So, wish me luck.
Shift A and you go over to your armature options. You're going to see now some more options. You can go over here and instead of just having single bone, you're going to have Rigify meta rigs, and this is an extra option that's now available. Now you get some categories here. So you get human, okay, and that's going to give you this really complex human rig, which you could do, but that's a bit more complicated because it has all the face bones. I'm just going to do a basic human rig. So now that I've gotten rid of that, just to show you, I'm just going to go Shift A again. I'm going to go to armature. I'm going to go to Rigify meta rigs, and that's the human rig here, which is complicated. But then you've got the basic over here. Over here you can see basic human, and then you got animals, and they're all really cool. I'll cover them sometime, but for now we're just going to go to basic and go with the basic human. Okay, and once you have it in object mode, you can go S to scale it up roughly to the scale of the person. Once you have it roughly in place, you can go Control A and make sure to apply the scale. And then from there, what we're going to do is with our rig selected, you're just going to go into edit mode, and from here you can adjust the rig. Now let's just assume you have a symmetrical character.
Good luck with the coin. I hope you finish fast. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna try and make this the same pose that she's hitting and see if we can like just slide it on over and then vibe out.
You can come up here and enable X mirror. That way, if you make changes on one side, it updates on the other side. If you're working with an asymmetric character, just go ahead, turn that off, and you could do both sides individually, or you could do a combination of both. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's on. And I've gone into wireframe. If you wanted to, you could also enable X-ray up here. Or what some people do is they like to go over here to their object data properties, and under the viewport for the bones, they can change. I think you can go over here and enable in front, and you can see right through the bones. But for me, I'm just going to go enable the X-ray up here. I'm just giving you guys some different options. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start by selecting these two hand bone and arm bones down here. I'm going to go G in our front orthographic and kind of move until this sits at the center. Then we're going to left click and grab the hand and go G and move it down to the hand. And then just left click on this nub over here and just kind of align it to the hand like so. So we want this nub here to be where the wrist is. And in the front we want this one here to be the middle of the arm. And then up here in the shoulder, we're going to bring this clavicle bone just down a bit. So it depends obviously on your character, but more or less we want to place them in sort of the locations I'm putting them. So here we have the shoulder, that's where you kind of want this.
You've been working your butt off with these animations. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
To be, and you can kind of just join the joints, like just line them up as they make sense. Then you got to go into your right orthographic view, and you can see here with the arm bones, it's not quite looking right in the side view. So in the side view, I'm just going to go ahead and move it, and it might be a little bit hard to see in X-ray, so I'm just going to go into wireframe. But we just want to grab these bones here in the side and just move them in. So not only does it look right from the front, but these hand bones look okay from the side. So I'm going to do the same thing over here from the side. I'm going to make sure this one lines up. Go take it back a little bit. And the shoulder bone here, I'm just going to move that. And then this clavicle, I'm just going to move it back a bit. So now we've just done the arm over here, just these arm bones, okay? And they're looking really good. So now we're going to work our way down. Let's go do the legs. So the legs are really interesting. In the front view, we're just going to grab them. I'm going to go G and move them over to the side a bit. And then let's go into a right orthographic view, and we need to move them back a little bit. So I'm going to move them till they match up here. And just like we did before, we're just going to grab these nubs and kind of move them. So this is the ankle. We'll place it here where the ankle is, and then grab this one, move it back a bit. That's the foot bone. And then this bone here is the foot control. We can move that back a little bit. And then this knee bone here, we're going to take that and move it forward a little bit. Like so. We don't want it to be in the middle or too back. So right here, just like so. And then the rest of the bones are exactly what you would think. So for example, these are the hip bones. You can kind of just move them to line them up where the hip would kind of be. So they're already more or less in place. And then over here, the spine bones are all okay. The breast bones are more or less in place. But we might just want to come here and get the head bone. It seems to be more or less in place from the front view, but in the side view, we're just going to grab the head. If you have to, just move it back a bit and then just line these neck bones up. So you got these neck bones here, so there should be 2 of them in the neck. So head bone and then neck bones. And then you got your chest bone over here, which should already be kind of in the chest, so that's fine. And then these bones down here in the middle are just the spine bones, and they should already kind of be in place most of the time. So that is actually a really, really simple rig to put in there. It's kind of already roughly in place. Now we've just put the pieces perfectly in place. And if your character was in like a T pose, then you could just adjust these bones accordingly. Mine's just in kind of like this downwards arm pose. So now, once you're happy with it, you're going to go ahead and go back into object mode. And with our armature selected, we can now go over to our data properties for our bones, and we can go down to the rigify and then click on generate rig. And just like that, it's generated all of these bones. But that doesn't help us much because these bones are just go ahead and go back into object mode. And with our armature selected, we can now go over to our data properties for our bones, and we can go down to the rigify and then click on generate rig. And just like that, it's generated all of these bones. But that doesn't help us much because these bones are just control bones.